For more on this, I want to bring in Congressman Ritchie Torres. He represents New York's 15th Congressional District, which is located within the Bronx. Congressman Torres, welcome. It's great to have you with us. So the president highlighted his American Families Plan and American Jobs Plan in his address last night, and today he's starting to promote the American Families Plan by traveling to Georgia. What do you make of these plans? Is the president on target, or do you believe there are some misses?
Well, we are in the midst of an FDR moment. We have a historic opportunity to govern as boldly in the 21st century as FDR did in the 20th century. And President Biden is harnessing the power of this moment to invest in the American workforce, in the American infrastructure, to an extent that we have not seen since World War II. My view is if the United States can squander trillions of dollars on wars in the Middle East, then we should be able to invest trillions of dollars here at home in our own people, in our own infrastructure, in our own future.
And of course, today also marks the president's 100th day in office. What do you make of the administration's progress during this time? And what would you like to see in the next 100 days?
It's been an astonishing success. I mean, the president passed the American Rescue Plan, which includes the child tax credit, which cuts child poverty in half. The president put forward the American Jobs Plan, which is the most comprehensive investment in American infrastructure since World War II. And the president said that within the first 100 days, he would see to it that 100 million shots were put in the arms of Americans. He exceeded that goal by twofold. So America, as the president said, is on the move again.
And Senator Tim Scott, as you know, gave the Republican response to the president's address last night, and he did accuse Mr. Biden of divisiveness. What did you make of Senator Scott's response?
I think the senator has a radically different perception of reality. I mean, President Biden has been a unifying figure in a time of division. He's pursuing an agenda that commands broad and deep support among the American people. Now, I'm particularly enthusiastic about the child tax credit and universal pre-K for every 3-year-old and 4-year-old. If we pass a permanent child tax credit, and if we expose children to early childhood education, we're going to change the trajectory of the lives of millions of children in America. And that, to me, is a unifying thing that a president can do.
So Congressman Jamal Bowman, as you know, gave the progressive response to Biden's address, and he said the administration needs to think even bigger. Do you agree with this?
I do, and I have a disagreement. The president proposed only expanding the child tax credit until 2025, which to me is a colossal misjudgment whose consequences we will live to regret. For me, a permanent child tax credit would be to children what Social Security has long been to senior citizens. FDR never put an expiration date on Social Security. Why should we put an expiration date on the child tax credit, which is going to cut child poverty by 50%?
And finally, Congressman Torres, I want to ask you about the census, which, as you know, left your home state, New York, with one fewer congressional seat because of the new census count. What is your reaction to this?
It is immensely frustrating because an undercount leads to less representation of resources, not for 1 year, but for 10 years. I largely blame Donald Trump, who prematurely short-circuited the census count in an attempt to sabotage blue states like New York. So presidential sabotage cost New York a congressional seat, which will haunt us for 10 years.
If that is true, is there any legal recourse to be followed here?
Well, I know the governor of New York is exploring legal options, but those legal challenges to the census count have a terrible track record in the courtroom. So I'm pessimistic about the prospects for overturning the census count. We have to live with one less congressional seat.
All right. Well, Congressman Ritchie Torres, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Of course, an honor to be here.